It's another beautiful day and a warm welcome to another episode of Today's Parent, where we connect you with experts and provide you with that information to make your parenting journey a bit more interesting, awesome, and easier. I'm your host, Christine Casina. In today's episode, we are going to talk to the dads again. We are going to talk about quality time. All of us have 24 hours, but how can we consciously spend that time with our kids and make those moments count? In studio today, we have Mwongera Mutiga, Papa Bear himself, taking us through tips that you as a dad who's going to watch with us, you're going to learn how we can spend quality time with our children. Papa Bear.
Hi.
Wonderful to have you back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's really nice to have you. You know, all of us indeed have 24 hours in a day.
Yes. Yes.
And that is what it is. And it's not a lot of time.
It isn't.
We have so much to do.
And we spent 8 of those hours asleep.
But
ideally.
But fun enough, as the women in your lives, we feel that you guys have more time than us. What are you guys doing with your time?
But why would you think that? What makes that? Why would you think that?
Think about what a mom does. Think about your wife for a moment. What she does from the time before you wake up.
Yeah.
And by the time you wake up, all the things she has done.
And how the house has been put in order.
And the children have been taken care of. Whatever is going to go into your stomachs has been catered for.
Yeah. No,
so sometimes it feels you guys have more time.
The women in our lives have more responsibilities in the home that give that impression that there's more time. I think maybe we're not as involved as we should be, so that we need to get more involved.
No, but I'm sure there are guys out there, dads out there who are involved.
Yes,
it is a good thing.
It is.
So our topic for today is quality time.
Yes.
Why it's important for dads to spend quality time with their children.
With their kids. Yeah.
Why? Let's start with why it's important for dads, first of all, to be involved in their children's lives.
Yep. Let me start by saying, Christine, that I don't think, in my view, there's anything like quality time. I think there's just time. You just need to spend time with your kids. I think there's this notion that, I need to do big things with my kids for it to count. That I have to do something special.
Take them
somewhere amazing. I have to make a big splash in order for that time to count.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that all there is time. And if you're spending time with your kids, then every minute you spend with them is quality time. You need to be aware that kids look forward to spending time with you. They want to be in your presence. They want to be with you. They want to see what you do. They want to see things from your perspective. And you being able to expose them to your life and the things that you do is part of a dynamic.
Talking about spending grand time with our kids, especially as dads. There's a story I read online. A father and a son went fishing. He said, that day I'm going to spend time with my son. So they went fishing, had a very good day, and then, of course, they both came back home.
Yeah.
So he was having a conversation later on with his friend, and he was thinking to himself, I lost my day by going fishing. I had so much to do in the office.
Yeah.
But it was a good thing I did, but I feel that I spent so much time out there.
Yeah, I wasted the day.
I should have been, I should have been working. So I feel like I wasted time. In his journal, his boy wrote, this was the most wonderful day I've spent with my dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Same day, same experience,
yes.
Two perspectives.
Two different perspectives.
What's your take on that?
I think it's unfortunate that we think of time with our kids as a waste. That we feel like other things are more important than our children, and that's very unfortunate. I mean, why do we do all these things? Why do we work? Why do we try and earn money?
Why do we work? Why do dads work, by the way?
For us, we're trying to make a living for our families. For most of us, we're just trying to do the best for our families. We're just trying to make sure that our families are comfortable. They can go to school. They can wear good clothes. They can, there's a certain level of life, standard of life,
to provide that comfort and the necessities, of course.
That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
But what we forget is that all that is important, all that is good.
Absolutely.
But what is even more important is our presence.
Yeah.
And our kids remember the time that we spent with them, not the money that we spent on them. And that's the unfortunate thing. I think we as guys need to remember that our kids don't care about what we do.
No.
What they care about is us. They want to see us. They want to be in our space. They want to know what you're all about. They want to bond with you. And the truth is, they're doing that now when they're small.
Yeah.
When they're older, the tables will be turned.
Absolutely.
It'll be you who wants to be involved in their lives. You'll be like, son, let's go hang out. He's like,
I'm busy, my friends.
I've got stuff.
Plans.
Yeah, move on, man. Dad, I'm busy. Yeah. So the same words he used to use on him when he was a small child, he'll use them on you. He's busy. He's got other stuff to do. So now is a time to bond with our kids.
Yeah.
Now is a time to spend time with them. It doesn't have to be even in a structured way.
Yeah.
You know, I think we as men and as human beings who like structure, who thrive on structure, we want to structure things so that it's planned and everything is organized. It doesn't have to be.
No.
You know, we can actually just spend time with them, just hang out with them, you know, get into their world.
Yeah.
Ask them what's going on in their world. Try and do things that they do.
Yeah.
I think this thing of spending time goes both ways. There is spending time where you as a dad get into their lives. So you're trying to find out what they're all about. So you go play their games, you sit in their world, and you try and figure out what they do, you know, depending on how old they are.
Okay.
And then I think there's a flip side where you bring the child into your life, so that you take them to what you bring them into your space. You know, take them to work, do stuff with them that you normally do on your own. You know, get them involved in stuff. If you're fixing things around the house, get them involved. Have them pick the spanner for you to fix. You know, so that they are coming into your world. You know, I think the younger the kids are, the latter is more important.
Yeah.
That they want to be in your world. You want them to see what your world is like. And as they grow older, you start getting more involved in their lives.
Absolutely.
So that they begin to see, you know, you in their space.
All right.
Yeah.
So today's dad, speaking of today's dad, where do you feel they cross the line when it comes to, you know, just not spending quality time? A few examples you can give, they could be general.
Yeah.
But where you feel men, the dads of today can do better.
Yeah.
Where are they crossing the line?
Yeah. I think one of the ways is what we do on the weekends, right? A lot of us cherish our weekends because it's time away from work, from all this other stuff. To be honest, there's a stage at which you feel even the kids themselves, you just need time away from them.
Very true.
It's a reality.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
And it's okay.
Because even them, there are times they want to
They
be
need
away
a break
you.
from us.
Yes. But I think the weekends are very important. I think it's important. And it doesn't mean that you have to change your lifestyle entirely.
Yeah.
Because sometimes men are afraid about that. Now, I'm never going to hang out with my boys. I'm never going to ever do anything fun. I'm never going to go out, you know, drinking, clubbing, whatever it is that you do. It doesn't have to be that way. I think it's a matter of carving out very deliberate time for your kids during the weekend.
Well put.
Yeah, make it deliberate. So it's Saturday morning, the things that you normally do on your own, bring your kids along. If you're going to the garage, take your kids with you. Imagine they'd love to see what happens. They might be bored out of their minds, but then they will be there with you. What they value is not the garage or the car or whatever is being fixed.
Together.
It's being with you that
Together.
counts. So try and build in some time deliberately over the weekends for your kids. Make it a good chunk of time, 3-4 hours, and you know you're with them. You can always do your stuff after that. Yeah, it doesn't change your life. So I think weekends is one place that can happen.
Okay.
You can spend deliberate time during the week as well.
Even before you get to the week,
Yes.
Papa Bear. For a dad who's watching, a new dad trying to navigate fatherhood,
Yes.
one foot on, you know, this side of his friends, he used to ball and have the life, and then madam is on this other side, and the kids, unakuja sangapi, uko wapi, tena leo uko na maboys. How do you balance that as a guy in such a way that you don't lose out on your social life, but still you are present for this new role that you have? Yeah,
it's about planning. It's about being deliberate with your time. I think one of the things that people fight about, and I know I fight about it with my wife sometimes, that I want to go on with my life the way it always was, without remembering that I'm now in a different space. Yeah. When you got married, your life changed. You stopped being a single guy, and there are certain things that you can do. There are certain things that you cannot do. There are certain things you can continue doing, but your life has changed.
What are the things you can't do anymore as a guy?
Well,
the ones that you can say on TV.
I was about to ask, is this an excellent show?
This is a family show.
Family show.
Yes.
I think some of the changes that happen in your life when you get married, when you become a father, are that you have to carve out time for your spouse. You have to carve out time for your kids. Okay, that's very important. It doesn't mean that you stop doing what you used to do before, but I think you also need to be responsible with how you do those things.
Define a lot of the things. What does responsible mean for a guy?
It means you're aware that it's not just about you. That
being aware.
You have to be being responsible means that you're aware that it's not just you who matters anymore.
Yeah.
There are other people whose time matters,
absolutely,
whose thoughts matter, whose opinions matter. So you just saying that I'm just going to show up anytime in the house is being irresponsible, because you're basically telling your wife that, by the way, I don't care what you think. Me, I'm going to come whenever I want. Yeah, you're telling her that me being married to you means I do whatever I want and you don't matter, which is irresponsible. Same thing with your kids. You can't just do whatever you want and ignore your kids all the time, because you're basically telling them that their lives and their opinions and their views don't matter.
They don't matter.
All that matters is me and my time and my boys and my drinks and what I want, which is irresponsible, really. Life changes. When you go through life, you don't do things the way you've always done them.
Yeah.
When you were a child, you left primary school, you went to secondary school. Things changed, right? When you left secondary school, you went to campus.
Yeah.
Things changed. So you can't say, actually, this is who I am, so
I'll continue doing whatever I used to do. You found me like this.
Yeah, take me the way I am.
Yes.
Who are you to judge me? No. You're a grown up now. You're an adult. You're a husband. You're a father. You need to take that responsibility, and that responsibility is really about being aware of the impact that your actions have on other people, and being considerate of other people. That's what being an adult means.
Yeah.
It means you're not just in a bubble by yourself. You're aware of other people, and you're taking care of their needs as well.
I'm wondering, when do we take, or in what way do we take unconditional love too far? In the family setting.
Yeah.
Because if then as a partner, even from the wife's perspective, the wife herself, and before, I know today we are talking about the dads.
Yes.
If I spend quality time with you, we've already modeled that kind of behavior in our home, that as a couple, we understand what quality time is.
Yes.
And I think it becomes easier for the dad to then spend quality time with the kids, for the mom to do quality time with the kids as well.
I think so. I think there's this misconception that being a father or having kids is it's like prison. It's like it ties you down.
Yeah.
It's like suddenly your life is going to be bad because the things that you used to do before, you can't do them anymore.
Yeah.
And so we take that as a negative thing.
Absolutely.
And it's not.
No, it is not.
Being a father is actually a really good thing. It's an amazing thing. You embrace it. You take it as a good thing. You can decide to be negative and be irresponsible and do things where you've always done them, or you could choose to take it as a good thing, that it's growth. It's now a new person coming into your life who you're getting to know, who you're getting to mold and teach and be with and hang out with. Because kids are actually amazing people to hang out with. So it's an attitude thing. It's really how you perceive it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen overnight. It's reflected in how the marriage is. It's a function of how strong your relationship is as a couple. But at the end of the day, as men, it's not a bad thing to be a dad. Being a dad is a blessing. There are people out there who are trying to be fathers really hard, and they want to be dads, but they can't for whatever reasons, biological or other. So now that you have kids, take full advantage of it. A time is coming when you're going to want to hang out with these kids,
and they will tell you no, like we've said before.
Yes. So take advantage of this time.
Before we go on the break, Papa Bear, 3 top comments you can share of what the role of a father is. In the scope of quality time, for somebody to understand, I am the dad, and this is why I matter in this equation. What is the role, the 3 top roles you can think of a father? Yeah,
I think there's a lot that a father needs to do, but I think just top of mind, one, that the father has a unique role in the child's life, one that the mother cannot fulfill.
No.
Because the father has certain skills, certain experiences, certain outlooks on life, a certain way of looking at life that the woman doesn't have, which is important for the child to have, both boys and girls. So there's a certain unique role that you play. That's number one. Number two, I think it's one of the things that fathers do is they create unique experiences for their kids. Mothers tend to be associated with the grind, the regular stuff, school, getting ready for school, just the regular stuff that happens.
Running the home.
Yes, running the home. Yes. It's a grind. It tends to be sort of the same thing throughout. Dads, for the most part, are not necessarily involved in that grind. So I think it's important.
They oil the grind.
Yes,
they
oil it,
grind,
and they can be involved,
yes,
but it's largely associated with the mother.
Absolutely.
And some houses it's different. But then the point is that there's a certain level of uniqueness that the father brings to the picture, so that you're doing unique things that are not part of the grind. You're taking them to certain unique places, or they associate certain wonderful new experiences with you as a dad, because you're deliberate about doing that. That's number two. And then number three, I think it's about being deliberate, really. That As a dad, it won't come naturally. You bonding with your children doesn't come naturally. You have to make it happen.
You have to make that effort.
You have to make that effort.
But just because you're a parent to these children doesn't mean they have to bond with you.
No.
And we take it for granted because I pay your school fees, you are in my house, you will listen to me.
Yes, and you will do what I say.
Yes.
And when that child becomes a teenager is when you realize, by the way,
that no.
Yes, your influence is not automatic. Yeah, you have to actually build that influence with the child over time. It doesn't happen automatically. So being deliberate about it is key. That you're making the time to make sure that this happens as a man.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We are going to take a short break right now. On that note, that spending quality time is about being deliberate.
Yes.
Well put.
Yes.
We'll be back after this.
Thank you.
In today's episode, we have the Papa Bear himself, Mutiga Bongera, of the Papa Bear platform. Their platform is about empowering dads to be the best dads they can be, especially in today's age and time where we need to be more present. We are going to take a short break and we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to today's episode of Today's Parent, where we are talking about the importance of dads spending quality time with their kids. And in studio we have the Papa Bear himself, Mutiga Bongera, who's passionate, like we said, of empowering dads, and at this point in time is going to share more pointers on how dads can spend quality time with their children. Papa Bear.
Yes.
Did you know that on average, as human beings right now, we spend 9 hours of our waking time on our phones?
Oh.
Yes.
That's an actual number.
Yes. Like research has been done on average. For most of us who have a mobile phone, a smartphone, we spend 9 hours in total out of 24 hours.
Interesting. That's
on our phones.
Wow, that's wow. Doesn't surprise me though, but yes.
So one of the top detractors of us spending quality time with our kids, even as moms,
yes,
is our mobile phones.
That is true.
You go to entertainment spots over the weekend, guys have taken their kids swimming or for lunch. It's supposed to be this moment where we are having a meal. But most people on that table are on their mobile phones.
Yeah, scrolling on Instagram.
It's like we have a new disease, phonesiosis.
As your thumbs are doing the walking for you.
And that's struggling as well.
Yes, it's a problem. And I'm not innocent on that. I mean, I do my fair share. Yeah. I do my fair share of spending time. Yes, kabisa. And what happens is sometimes we mistake being physically present for being present. In that we assume that just because I'm there, I am there. Yet you're not there. You're actually on your phone doing whatever.
Yeah.
And most of the stuff is not really critical. I mean, it's not life and death.
No.
But I think part of the challenge of being present as a father is that you can think that you're there, but you're actually doing other things. Or even your mind is not really there.
That's true.
And what we need to be is present, not just physically, but
present. Mentally, spiritually, you are
in
there
every way, that you're
involved.
actually engaged. Yeah. So if your daughter is telling you something,
that's the word, engaged.
Yes. If your child is telling you something, you're engaged. You're not absent-minded about it. You know, you're being told one thing. And it happens to me a lot, where you're being told something, but your mind is not really there. So you're like, oh yeah. Yes. My kids, there's a time, my son would come when I'm on the phone, and he would literally come and put it off when I'm using it. Yeah. And I'd be like, and it hit me, by the way, he's doing that because I'm not there. And kids can tell when you're physically present and
but
not,
you're not there,
engaged. So we need to move beyond just being physically present. Okay, we need to start being physically present.
Yeah.
But beyond that, we also need to be engaged mentally. You know, listen to what you're being told. You know, your 5-year-old is telling you a story about what happened in school.
Yeah.
Listen to her. Just hear what she's telling you. Engage with it. Think about it. What is it exactly that she's trying to do? Be present, not just engage in, what do you call it? Phonesiosis. Phonesiosis.
I have a new name for it.
You've just coined a new name.
Yes.
Should patent it.
You know?
But yeah, that's what I would say, you know. And part of that is not having any distractions, your phone being a very big one of those.
Yeah.
Other screens in the house can be distractions as well. TV is a big one, laptops and tablets and whatever.
Yeah.
But just being deliberate about the time that you spend. Sometimes it's better to change scenery, so that you're not talking in the same scenery that you have.
The same place, yes.
Do something else. What I've noticed about men is that men tend to be active. Active in the sense
that is
that
more physical
exactly,
and engaging.
exactly. So that
Right.
for a guy to just sit down and talk like this
And then,
is not normal.
how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm struggling
I like
as
that.
it
It's
is.
not normal.
Me, I'm struggling. I'm like,
No, we need
but
to normalize it.
what's normal for guys is to do something active. So take the kids out somewhere where you're doing something active. You know, you're involved in something else. So it's almost like the conversation is a background to whatever is happening, and that way guys tend to be more engaged. Yeah. So do that. Take a walk in the estate if you can. You know, be somewhere else that's
Yeah.
not your normal setting.
Yeah.
And that way you're able to bond with them. And kids remember these things, by the way, when they're much older.
You're not talking about remembering. I've just had a memory of my dad, who was a very absent in the sense of he's present. When he's present.
Yeah.
And absent meaning your typical 1960s dad who then he comes, he goes, he comes, he goes. But he was involved.
Yes.
I remember the first concert I ever went to, we were taken by my dad. So when you talk about those activities that then dads need to come up with,
Yeah.
when I think about my dad being present in my life,
Yes.
it was through activities.
Yes.
So my very first concert, Kasarani, Sam Fan Thomas, up to today, I like that song. Elua, you remember? Then we distorted the song. But those are wonderful memories for me. I remember I was on my father's shoulder.
Yes.
Up to date, we
You
are
can
so
never
tight
forget
with
it.
my father.
Yeah.
Second one, City Park, where you are Sunday best, monkeys all over,
Yes.
drink a yogurt and a queen cake,
Yes.
and life was just beautiful.
Amazing. And that's the thing. You know, that's real quality time.
Yeah.
Because you're engaged in an activity, you're doing something together
Yeah.
with your kids. And kids don't forget those things. I keep being reminded. The other day we had a game. My daughter keeps telling me we should do it again. But we had a very impromptu activity that happened. So I came home, got out of the car, carrying my jacket.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, but then we ended up having like a small fight. So she went into the house and got her jacket, and other kids got their jackets, and we had like a little fight.
Like a sword fight.
Yes, with jackets, like for
Wow.
2-3 minutes. Completely unplanned.
Must have been fun.
It was fun. It was awesome. They
Must
keep
have been
reminding me about it. They get home like, let's do a jacket fight, and stuff like that. So the thing about it is that you want to create memories, and memories are not created. Half the memories you have are not planned. It's things that you just were involved. You just happened to be present at that time.
Yeah.
I could have spent the first 15 or 20 minutes of my day home that day just sitting alone, or tell guys, leave me alone, I need to be on my own.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do
Dad
that.
is tired.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do that because I do get tired. But those 5 minutes that we spent doing that game, they've never forgotten it. And that's the
beautiful.
thing.
That's
We just need to
beautiful.
be very aware that we need to be present. We need to be engaged with these guys. And it's not about the big gestures. It's not about the big splashy stuff.
Big purchases
Yes.
and grand vacations.
No, it doesn't have to be that big. They just want to spend time with you.
Absolutely. How do you teach your girls assertiveness?
Yeah, it's a good question. That's a really good question. So one of the lessons that we teach at home is that a no is a no.
That's a good one.
And it happens everywhere. It's not just about with boys, even with the girls themselves. You know, if a person says no, I don't want to play that game, or I don't want to do that,
No is no.
a no is a no. And so we brought them up in an environment where they understand that, well, I hope they understand the concept of consent, that you have to agree to this for it to happen. So that's one of the things that we do. The other thing that we do is that at least I've tried to gas them up as much as possible.
That's good.
That
That's
you prop them up, make them feel like they're the best at whatever it is that they're
They
doing.
can do anything.
They can do whatever
They
they
can
want.
do anything they put their mind to.
Yeah, and maybe they can tell you whether that's working or not. but it's important that girls feel, or my daughters feel, that they're good at what they do. They're good at whatever they're trying, and they can try and do whatever they want to do. I think that helps them to become more assertive, because that assertiveness comes from a sense of knowledge, a sense of self-awareness or self-worth.
Yeah.
That I know what I'm worth. I know what I can do. I think I take deliberate action to bless them, and not just in a religious sense, although that's part of it, but just in a sense of I recognize what you're good at. I recognize that you're a good person, that you're valuable to me. Yeah, I value you as my daughter, and I want you to know that. And I think that hopefully will build their self-esteem
That's good.
to a point where they are self-aware and they know that I'm valuable, I'm meaningful, I have something to contribute, I have something to say, I have something to add to the world. And that helps them to be more assertive.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming through.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure as always to have you.
Thank you.
And to the dads who are watching,
Yeah.
I'm sure they have learned something from you, the Papa Bear himself. For any new dad, the dad who switched on and wants to plug in.
Yeah.
How can they plug into your platform, Papa Bear?
Yeah, please log into the platform. We are on YouTube, Papa Bear Kenya.
Papa Bear Kenya on
Papa
YouTube.
Bear Kenya is the channel, and then we're on Facebook as well, Papa Bear Kenya, at Papa Bear Kenya. We're in the process of setting up an Instagram account, but for now it's Papa Bear Kenya on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Facebook.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mutiga.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching today's episode of Today's Parent, where we focused on the importance of dads spending quality time with their children. In studio today, we had Papa Bear himself, Mwongera Mutiga, who runs Papa Bear, that's passionate about empowering dads to be the best that they can be. The one thing that he has emphasized on, what we can do as dads is to be deliberate. Make those moments count. It's not about the quantity, but about spending quality time. I have been your host, Christine Casina, and this has been Today's Parent. If there's any topic you feel we need to focus on when it comes to matters fatherhood, send us an SMS and we'll see how we can feature that in our future show. We've been here in studio at Little Cribs, the home of fun, exciting and durable kids furniture. If you're looking for parenting information, go to www.supermamas.co.ke. For now, we thank you for your time and look forward to having you next time. Goodbye.